Snizzity Snap, baby. We are back. And it is the first week of March, and getting this year off to a good start. Lots of cool stuff going on already. Lots of fun stuff coming up. I'm excited to share. So stay tuned to the end of this video here. We got some new information on the podcast. It's very exciting. I'm excited about it. So let's dive right into it. So this week, how I want to start this off. So I've been going around and around in my head. I've talked about it before in the podcast of possibly renaming it, kind of maybe going in a little bit different direction, kind of a thing. And it's been wearing on me a little bit and just kind of, eating at the back of my mind, and just been thinking about it a lot, and for a few different reasons, and potentially changing the name. And one of the things that's been really ringing with me here is, as I start moving forward, I talked about last week, I got some really cool guests coming on. I have another friend that I talked to, I've done podcasts with him before, my friend Val, who's in the bodybuilding world, and reached out to him, and someone that he knows really well, and looks like we're gonna do a podcast with him. I have a lot of other great, amazing people in my life that I'm going to be sitting down with, talking about their stories and their journey and their struggles and everything in between. Because for me, sharing these stories is really what it's all about. I get motivated and inspired from everyday people all the time, from just the things that they're doing in their everyday life. And it could be something as simple as just raising their family, starting a business, both, taking on a whole new venture, and their whole life path going in a whole different way, and how they're coping with it and how they're adjusting to all these things. And the more and more stories I hear like this, the more it's so intriguing to me. So this is really what I want to be doing more with this podcast, is sharing these stories. So at the end of the video, I will be sharing the name of the all new podcast that we'll be starting. This will be the Transitional Podcast next week. I'll be sitting down with my good friend, Antonio Lopez, aka the Honey Badger, telling more of his story, and in the world of jiu-jitsu, his life. I learned some things about him just the last time that we sat down and spoke that were just amazing things. I kind of want to dive more into that. So these are the things that I'm interested in, and these are the things that I want to share with everybody. And this is what the podcast is going to be more about. It's going to be more about sharing the stories of all these people that I have the fortune of knowing and being friends with and coming into contact with. And I'm going to be reaching out to more people here in the Las Vegas Valley. I know some people in Southern California I'm going to be reaching out to as well, people in Central California that I know I want to reach out to, and just get a whole big wide array of all types of people from different walks of life, not just in the jiu-jitsu world, not just in the health and fitness world, but in all these different arenas in life, and share their passions and everything that they got going on. Because I think the more that we learn about each other, the more that we get to feed off one another, all the good positive vibes, there's going to be motivation within that, all on its own. I'm inspired and motivated by all the people in my life, and I'm so blessed and so fortunate that I have these people, because they really, really help propel me to continue to push hard and to work hard. And I appreciate everybody's feedback on the podcast and everything that I'm working on. It really does mean a lot to me, and it helps me. Even the feedback that isn't always positive, it helps me reshape my focus. So if anybody has anything out there for me, you want to send me a quick DM message, you want to send me a text if you have my number, you want to send me an email, whatever you have, you want to call me and tell me face to face, doesn't even matter. I'm all ears. I love to listen. I love to learn and to grow as a human being, and how I can get better at this. So that's the direction I'm going to be going in. I'm super excited for it. So pumped for it. Starting off number one with Antonio Lopez. We had such a great talk last time, and we have so much more to talk about here this next week. It's going to be so awesome. So I have so many people that just in the month of March that I will be sitting down with and talking to, and I'm so excited about it. It's going to be great. So that's kind of the basis of what I want this week to be about, is just talking about the transition, which direction I'm going in, and kind of gearing away from the motivate side of things, because for lack of a better term, I don't want to be lumped into kind of into this world of motivational speakers or the motivational industry, because it's not really what I'm doing. I'd rather motivate people just through my own actions, through the things that I do in my day in, day out life, whether it be my training regimen, my diet program, my schedule that I'm always trying to balance with my family balance and my work balance and my hobby balance and all the other things that I'm interested in. Just by virtue of doing these things and trying to figure these things out and sharing them with people, which what I do on my Facebook page a little bit, as well as mainly just through my Instagram. It's all about trying to show people how I'm doing things and maybe just a different way of doing things, so you can fit in more to your schedule. You can take on that extra thing that you've been wanting to do because maybe you just haven't been managing your time the best way possible. Maybe you haven't been setting your goals as focused as what you should have been, and just maybe watching how I'm doing something or sharing something that somebody that I know, how they're doing something. Maybe that's what kind of is the catalyst of lighting the fire to getting other people on their own path and going in a positive direction. So, a lot of the stories that I'm going to be sharing, whether it's my own stories, just kind of as an anecdote about things that I've done in my life, and not even just extraordinary things, but everyday things that can be helpful in helping somebody get through maybe a time that they're going through now. Maybe it's relationship type stuff. It doesn't matter, but really the people that I sit down with and talk about and how they share all the different things and their journey and all the obstacles that they're overcoming and have overcome and what they see in their future and what their goals are. Just sharing these stories, by virtue of doing that, it's going to be motivational. It's going to be inspirational. It's going to be something that's people are going to see and hear and be like, wow, look at Antonio. Look what he's doing. I can do more. I mean, that's when I see the people that I follow on Instagram and some of my friends on Facebook and things, when I see what people out there are doing day in and day out, I'm like, man, I'm lazy. I thought I worked hard. This person's working really hard. They're working harder than me. I got to get after it. So it motivates me. It inspires me to get up and to move more and to do more, to inspire, to want to be more. So it's going to be that anyway, just talking with all the people that I want to be sitting down with and sharing their stories. That's what it's all about. So I'll share a little bit, just a short, quick story, and maybe I'll share more down the road here in the future. Just a little bit about me, for those of you who don't know me very well, and maybe you only know me over the past year or couple years. But I come from so interesting. I don't come from this crazy background of where I had a lot of struggle. We were, I guess, what you would consider a middle-class family. My dad did very well in the military, and he's done very well after in his careers afterwards. But growing up, I moved around every couple of years. My dad was in the Air Force, and we got to live in nice homes. We always had cars that worked, and we didn't struggle there. We always had food in the house. I mean, I didn't have a lot of struggles that a lot of people have growing up that had to overcome some great obstacles. I had a great childhood. I have one sister, younger sister. She's amazing. I mean, she's the smart one in the family. I was more the athlete in the family, and she was always the straight A student, and to this day, very just a student in life, always learning something new, always taking on stuff, and she's amazing. I mean, she's got her I don't know what they call it. Sorry, Cheryl. I don't know what they call it, but it's the degree after master's degree before you get a PhD. There's like an intermediate degree there in the field that she works in. And, she's always been that way. She's always been this overachiever. And for me, it just wasn't my path. I did good enough in school to stay eligible for sports. And, but not because I was dumb, I didn't get it. It just wasn't that important to me. But, yeah, I mean, we had a great childhood growing up. We had amazing Christmases. We always got everything we ever wanted. We took vacations. We went to so many amusement parks. And, so I didn't have a lot of struggle. I had, I used to always say I had a very strict upbringing with my parents. My mom was comes from a big Mexican family, and for those of you who don't know, some of the older generation of Mexican families, they didn't play. Very disciplinary oriented group of people, and so that's how my mom grew up, and that's how we were raised. Very discipline oriented. My dad was in the military, so obviously, he didn't want to take any shit either, and so. But I'm so thankful for it. I mean, I know for a fact it's what I needed growing up to have that kind of discipline in my life to make sure that I turned out to be a good person. So, but my life was great. So many great friends. We traveled all over the country, through the military, and I saw so many beautiful, amazing parts of the country, from mountains to beaches and everything in between. It's been great. It really helped shape and mold me to who I am. And having to move around every 2 years, I got lucky. I got to be all 4 years at the same high school, which was really cool. But moving around my whole life, it helped me to have to kind of go out and make friends and meet new friends. And I was lucky because I played sports all the time. So every time we moved, there was a sport there. Hey, I got thrown into a whole group of friends, and so it was a little bit easier for me than probably most kids who had to move around. But it was great. And like I said, so many great friends, and a lot of us have stayed friends just through Facebook and seeing all the different things that they're doing out there in the world with their families and their lives. It's awesome to see. Most of them, it's not a surprise to see that they're successful in life and that they have great families and their kids are doing awesome and amazing things in their own right. So it's really cool, and I've been very blessed that way. And I didn't come from a lot of struggle. I had a great life. Any struggle that I had, I brought on myself. But I had a great life. I have great parents, and I'm blessed that they're both still around. And matter of fact, I'm gonna see them here in about a month, and we're gonna do a wonderful trip together. We do trips every year together, and we all love each other. We have a closeness that I wouldn't trade for any amount of money or anything in the world. So in a lot of ways, I'm very blessed, and all the things that I want to do in life, all the goals and all the things I want to accomplish, I always say that they're only possible because of the people in my life, because of the people, my parents who raised me, because of the support I had from them, even the support from my sister. She's always been a amazing cheerleader for me and all the things that I've done. And so I owe a lot to her. A lot of my aunts and uncles and cousins. I mean, just so many. Like I said, I come from a big Mexican family, and on my dad's side of the family too. I got a lot of cheerleaders for me, and it's a pretty amazing thing. And so thank you to all you out there who support me in every way possible. And in my wife's family, on top of that, and all of our friends and the friends that she brought into my life before, I came along, she was friends with, and now they're my friends, and all their support and all their love and everything. I'm just, man, I almost feel sometimes that it's unfair that I have so much. And so I don't take it for granted. I'm always very thankful. I'm always working hard, not only to keep the people in my life that I love and care about so much, but I'm also working to continue to better myself and to grow the relationships that I have with these people, because it's important. And for whatever reason, lately I've been very sentimental. All these different stories I read about whether it be news or social media or on American Idol, I mean, you name it, these things have just been getting me. And I think it's because I'm enjoying being alive so much. I'm enjoying everything life has to offer so much that I don't take any of it for granted. So all the wonderful moments and even the sad moments, I'm taking it all in, and I'm enjoying all the experiences and even the hard times, because I know the good times are coming. And what a wonderful thing, right? How awesome is that I get to live a life that even when times are bad, even when times are hard and struggles are there, that I know it's going to turn around for the good. I know it. And there's people out there that don't have that kind of hope. They don't have, they've never had that in their life. And hopefully they find that, whether it be through a podcast or through a mentor or whatever it is, because we all deserve to have that in our lives. So Thank you to everybody in my life. I really do appreciate it. And so that's a little bit about me. I'll share more as this podcast goes along, and probably in some of the conversations that I have with people, I'll be sharing some more stories. But that's a little bit about me. And I'm really excited about the direction I'm going now with the podcast, especially with all the different guests that I have coming up. It's going to be amazing, and I'm so excited. And I'm so excited that I get to showcase them and their stories and who they are and why these people are amazing to me, and to show the rest of the world how they can be amazing to other people out there and be inspirational. So with that being said, this is the end, and I thank everybody for listening. And like I said at the beginning, this is the time where I talk about the new title for the podcast. So starting next week will be episode number 1 of the podcast called, drumroll, So Tell Me Your Story. Simple as that. That's what we're going to be doing, sitting down with people and finding out their stories. And I want to hear from you. I want to hear from everybody out there and all the people. I'm going to be reaching out to people here as we move along and setting a time and place to sit down. And I want to hear the stories. And I want to share them with everybody out there who wants to listen. And thank you in advance to the people I have coming up, and to anybody I reach out to who does want to sit down and talk about their story, because it's going to be great. So thank you all for listening. I'll see you guys next week, episode number 1 of So What's Your Story? All right, guys. Thank you all. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you all soon. And next week, Antonio Lopez. So get ready. We got more amazing stuff coming up. So get ready to listen. And thank you all for your support. Have a great night.